Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to another live Manchester United news and transfer news show. And you might be thinking, Alice, your live stream, it wasn't scheduled till 6:30. Why are you live at 6:22, 8 minutes early? And that is because just now it's broke just before my live stream as I'm setting up and preparing that Manchester United have signed TYRELL Malacia. Here we go. The news is coming just now. We've had a Malacia, here we go, from Fabrizio Romano. So I've got loads and loads of news to talk about in today's live stream. But more importantly, the TYRELL Malacia to Manchester United deal is done. So I was going to be talking about basically the deal being done now, the deal being done in my live stream, all of that. But I mean, the deal is done now. I mean, I knew it was going to be done today. I said it was going to be done today. And I thought I'd be saying in my live stream, oh, the deal was close and all of that. But the deal was actually done. Like, we've actually just got, here we go. So that's going to make my live stream a lot easier. So, guys, we're going to talk about TYRELL Malacia. We're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about the Martinez news, the De Jong news, and all of that. But make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new. And, of course, share the video. Because TYRELL Malacia to Manchester United, here we go, breaking news. And as you can see on the screen, I'll just put it in full screen there. TYRELL Malacia to Manchester United, here we go. Agreement reached on personal terms. He's waiting to sign the contract soon. 50 to Feyenoord. Malacia will be the first signing of the Ten Hag era, done and confirmed by the Don Fabrizio Romano. And look, Malacia is done, bish bash bosh, like it said it was going to be done this weekend. De Jong's going to be done very, very soon. But also, what we've done with Malacia is we completely hijacked Malacia from Leon. And laptop's making a loud noise. And basically, Man United plan to do the same with Martinez. So obviously, Martinez is who Arsenal are in for. It seems that we're actually really close to getting Lisandro Martinez. So that's a big thing. I'm just changing the title of my video to here we go. I'm just changing the title of my video to TYRELL Malacia, here we go. Because I just realised the title of my video is not TYRELL Malacia, here we go. The deal is done. We are excited. Told you that you could have gone on a vacation for 6 weeks. It took us 6 weeks to sign someone, but we finally got someone. He finally got, here we go. So keep smashing the like buttons and all of that. But look, this deal was about £15 million. This is one of the cheapest deals we've done in the post-Fergie era. You know, at the end of the day, whether you know TYRELL Malacia, if you've watched him, if you've not watched him, at the end of the day, when you're spending £15 million on a 22-year-old that your manager wants, you can't complain, whoever it is. You know, if this player's 22 in a position where we need improving and is a player the manager wants and he's only 15 million, it doesn't matter if he comes and he's shit. At the end of the day, it doesn't really that much because it's such cheap. Like 15 million is nothing for United. We got 30 million for Daniel James. Like, we sold Daniel James for 30 million. This guy costs 15 million. It doesn't come much out of transfer budget. And I think with this, it's a low-risk signing, but it's also, Tellers is poop. Say what you want about Tellers, he's poop. Williams we'll now be able to sell Williams and Tellers. I reckon the money we spend on Malacia, which is £15 million, we'll get £15 million for Tellers and Williams combined. So, it's a sort of straight swap. Better competition for Luke Shaw. And when Luke Shaw had a bit of competition, a bit of a kick up the arse, like last season with Tellers coming in, Luke Shaw went boo and had that Euro form, boosh, boosh, boosh. And look, I've done my research on TYRELL Malacia. I've not watched him play loads. I don't know loads about him. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But what I do know about TYRELL Malacia is he's 22 years of age. He was the best left-back in the Eredivisie last season. He stuck to Anthony like glue when it was Ajax versus Feyenoord. Ten Hag's had his eye on him for a while. He's very, very rapid. Very rapid. Was brilliant in the Europa Conference League final against Roma, and that was a big game. He covered the 6th most distance in the Eredivisie, showing his fitness, his work rate, the ability to go up and down. We know that he's very good defensively, quite positionally aware. I spoke to a couple of people that watched him a lot, and they said they would compare him to Tierney if they were going to compare him to a Premier League left back. And Tierney, although he has a lot of injuries, he is a sound left back as well. And I think he has the potential to go on and be a top left back. But most importantly, Ten Hag's got a player that he wants. And at the end of the day, Ten Hag's watched this player. He's watched a lot of the Eredivisie, and Ten Hag's go, that's what we need in this team. And I trust Ten Hag. More than a lot of managers we've had, I trust Ten Hag's judgment. And if you look back at City and Liverpool, Pep chooses what players City bring in. Klopp has a big say in what players Liverpool bring in. And that's how I feel about TYRELL Malacia. He is a player that obviously Ten Hag wants. Obviously, Man United are going to bring in. We will talk about the De Jong news and all of that in just a second as well. Dumfries for right, but that's a potential deal that could be done, but not much news on it. Andrew said he's only seen a few matches of Malacia and he looks really good. Recently saw a video of 45 minutes where he played for Ajax and shut down the flank. Yeah, so I completely butchered that. I misread it. But yeah, literally, I mean, look, I've not seen him play loads. I don't know loads about him, but when I have seen him play, I've been incredibly impressed with TYRELL Malacia. Incredibly impressed. So, you know, and he's young. You know, he's young. He's younger than a lot of our players as well. So I think it's really good for us. If I'm being honest, that doesn't make you know what I mean. I'm just really excited we got a deal done because we're really close to Frankie De Jong and we're really close to Martinez as well. Let me get into this so here as well. So obviously, Samuel Lutkos only said 2 hours ago Man United are aiming to complete the signings of Frankie De Jong and TYRELL Malacia before they fly to Bangkok to start their pre-season July 8th, which is a week today. They've already got TYRELL Malacia, bish, bash, bosh, done and complete, and he's saying that it will now be Frankie De Jong. FABRIZO Romano confirmed literally earlier that TYRELL Malacia only wants to play for United and has then done his here we go. We obviously had Howard Nurse come in earlier saying Malacia to United soon. Then the deal is done. Malacia will probably head to Old Traffordish now. Or Carrington now, or in the next few days to do his medical, and then there will be an announcement soon as well. And there was this whole article that came out earlier about the deal being complicated and all of that, but we don't need to get into that because he's here, he's done. He's like, here we go, TYRELL Malacia. Like you can't complain at all. It was also said that Manchester United will now move their attention to Martinez. And what we did with Malacia, Man United are going to do with Lisandro Martinez. So Malacia, we got to hit. FABRIZO Romano said, here we go, Malacia to Lyon. Man United came in, hijacked it, swooped in, and obviously Malacia was like, nah, I am only going Man United. Fuck off, Lyon, I'm going United. And Malacia is here within a few days out of nowhere. United are preparing as we speak. Now Malacia is done, we're going to go and work on other deals. Now Malacia is done, we will work on other players. So now that's wrapped up. We have more energy to work on other players. And we're going to go in now and we're going to work on Lisandro Martinez, who it's been reported will choose United over Arsenal. And it's very likely it will be another situation where it will be probably, you know, quite advanced in joining to Arsenal. But Man United are going to swoop in and get Lisandro Martinez and do exactly what they did with Malacia with Lisandro Martinez. And everyone says that, you know, Man United, because obviously Malacia is done and De Jong's going to be wrapped up in the next 48 hours, it seems that United are going to move all their attention to Lisandro Martinez. And if we get those players over the line, apparently it even increases the chances of ERIKSEN joining. So, you know, when I did my video yesterday and I said, oh, 4 times here we go for Man United, like I am being serious. We are basically on the verge of getting 4 here we goes at Manchester United. So, you know, Malacia is the first here we go. De Jong here we go within the next week. Lisandro Martinez here we go could be very, very soon. And then, of course, an ERIKSEN here we go and a Martinez here we go could be something that seems likely to happen as well. But guys, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're new, because if you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates and more, please do subscribe to the channel for daily Manchester United news and all of that, because we'll go live every single evening talking about all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news and updates on the channel. I want to talk about Frankie De Jong in this video. I do want to talk about all of that, but I think obviously this video is dedicated to TYRELL Malacia. And I have to say, I'm chuffed that it's done. I mean, I knew it was going to be done. We've known it's a done deal for a while now, but it's just nice to actually be like, that deal is done. We've got the here we go up on the screen as well. Apart from De Jong, are those 3 bench players? Malacia, I think Luke Shaw is the starting left back, but I think Malacia will be challenging Luke Shaw and getting in the lineup within no time. I think Malacia will very soon be a regular starter for Manchester United. I can say that quite confidently. I think, you know, ERIKSEN, yeah, he would probably be a bench player. Martinez, I think, would be a starter. I think De Jong and Martinez would be a guaranteed start for United. I think Malacia will be pushing, and I think Malacia could become a star if he impresses as well. We've got plenty of pre-season games coming up, which gives, now Malacia is going on pre-season, it gives him a chance to really impress Ten Hag as well. And as Andrew said, Malacia is a no-risk deal, that fee, but he looks like he's got huge potential. It's a no-risk deal, but it's also a player with huge potential as well. TYRELL's a modern fullback. Think of Trent Alexander-Arnold, but with good defensive skills. This is the thing. He's really good defensively, TYRELL, Malacia. And I'm not acting like I'm an expert. I've watched this guy play twice, and he looks good defensively the 2 times I've watched him play. But when I've actually spoke to people that watch this guy play a lot, they're saying TYRELL Malacia is good defensively, and he's also a modern fullback. He's got that pace, he's got that explosiveness, and I think we don't have a modern fullback. Wan-Bissaka's the polar opposite of a modern fullback. Dalot, there's this rumour that Dalot's good going forward. Dalot is shocking going forward. Dalot's crossing is as crap as Wan-Bissaka's crossing. Dalot just looks slightly better on the ball. Dalot's not good going forward. Whether people like you can see that. Telles is reportedly good going forward, but Telles has good set piece delivery, and that's about it. And Telles is useless defensively, and he's okay going forward. And Luke Shaw at his best is probably our best fullback going forward. And I wouldn't say going forward was Luke Shaw's strengths, apart from last season where he was at a really good connection with Rashford. TYRELL Malacia is good going forward, but he's also sound defensively. I mean, people compare him to Tierney. You could say more. I'm not saying he's Reece James or Reece James's level or Tierney's level, but in terms of style, Tierney, Reece James, that kind of fullback as well. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with the deal as well. De Jong deal not done yet. Call Ruben Nistelrooy. Talking to Ruben Nistelrooy, I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but De Jong liked Manchester United's recent Instagram post, which obviously has got Ruben Nistelrooy in. And Man United did a post about the Dutch Man United link with Ruben Nistelrooy, and the boy, Frankie de Jong, is giving that a little cheeky like, isn't he? You know, Frankie de Jong is hinting. Frankie de Jong liking Man United posts on Instagram. We all know, Frankie. We all know as well. Another thing about TYRELL Malacia is he seems to have a good injury record. His most outstanding weakness would be discipline. I think Malacia's biggest weakness is defensive discipline. He could be a bit rash when he goes in for a challenge, but I think that's a weakness that can so easily be improved. You know, there's weaknesses that players have where it just takes a little bit of coaching and you can get it out of them, you know. And I think, you know, if his weakness is sort of this, his 2 weaknesses really are heading and aerial ability, which isn't the end of the world as a fullback. But his outstanding weakness would be maybe discipline. He does go in for challenges. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, we see, oh my God, the amount of times we'd see Maguire and Lindelof getting attacked by players and then they would stand off. Because Maguire's slow. He'd stand off players and Lindelof, and they'd get bullied because they wouldn't actually get in there. And, you know, why Wan-Bissaka was quite good defensively for United is because he used to get stuck in there with challenges. And I think TYRELL Malacia's only weakness is his rash, which can be coached out of him. But we do need a fullback that's quite keen to get the ball. We do need a defender that's quite keen to get the ball, because I feel like sometimes when players attack Maguire and Lindelof, they run away from the ball. You know, and even Dalot and Telles. I remember when it was Dalot, Telles, Maguire, Lindelof playing as a back 4, they all seemed to run away from the ball. They weren't keen to get stuck in. Like, you know, say what you want about Eric Bailly and Vidic, but they were always keen to get stuck in. And I think his weakness being discipline isn't the worst weakness in the world. And he is positionally aware as well. Discipline's a bad thing if you're not positionally aware. But, you know, he's reported to be a player that's very positionally aware and has quite a high IQ for someone of his age. And, you know, if you're going to be working with Erik ten Hag as well, players are going to get their IQ up. I mean, Erik ten Hag, you know, we've seen the videos and the clips of Erik ten Hag coaching, and we know Erik ten Hag's a very intellectual manager. He's got, you know, and a lot of the players that work with Erik ten Hag have obviously got a ridiculously high sort of football IQ. You know, the Ajax football is attacking. It's nice on the eye. It requires a brain. You know, De Jong and Donny will come in and they will know the Ajax way. Malacia seems like a player with intelligence, and I think United, we've been coached so poorly for 3 years under Ollie that our decision making and football IQ is quite low for a lot of players. You know, Bruno's decision making, always making the hero pass, I think that will be coached out of him. Rashford's decision making is one of the worst, and Rashford has one of the worst football IQs I've seen. But just in general, like most of our players, you know, we don't play intellect football. We don't have a good football IQ as a squad, and Ten Hag's a player that, you know, will bring in players with Ten Hag's a manager, so that will bring in players with a high football IQ, but also hopefully coach players his way. And I wanted to talk about this, and I will get into some more Malacia, and I will get into some live chats in a moment. But what I actually did want to mention was we're having reports come out this week that the Man United players have been really impressed with training under Ten Hag, and that the Man United players are reportedly very happy with Ten Hag's training and Ten Hag's training methods and all of that. And I think that's a massive thing, because when you really think about Manchester United and you think about all the dressing room leaks we've had and all the reports that have been going on in the past, we've had so many reports and articles basically saying, you know, the coaching's crap at United, the players are unhappy with the coaching. and to actually have a nice report coming out saying, you know what, the players are really impressed by the coaching. You know, we haven't had that in a while. You know, it's always been stuff at Man United. It's always been. So I'm sorry. I'm bottling my words. It's because I'm changing my title. Let me just quickly write this in. Sorry about that. Let me just say that. But what I was going to say is, you know, the last few years, and even under Ollie, when things were going well under Ollie, we had leaked dressing room reports come out of players complaining about the coaching under Ollie and all of that. And when Rangnick came in, you know, they didn't even give Rangnick a week before they threw him under the bus, complaining that Rangnick was so bad and training under Rangnick doesn't make sense. You know, Ten Hag's been here a week, and this is the first time in years at Man United we've had a positive report come out about the players responding positively to training. Ten Hag's been here a week, and the players are really impressed. And reportedly, now this is only reportedly, we'll see on the pitch if they are, but reportedly buying into it. The Man United players are happy to see that Ten Hag's very clear with his instructions. They can see a clear plan with Ten Hag, and the Man United players were left impressed by the standard of coaching Erik Ten Hag delivered within his first week at Carrington, which is, I think, is massive, because every manager that's come in, we've complained about their coaching, Rangnick, Ollie, and obviously it's only been a week. Give it a couple months and see what they're saying. But they seem to be very impressed with what Ten Hag is doing in the dressing room. And Ten Hag, within the first week, I know not all the players are back, has seemed to impress a lot of the Manchester United players as well. De Jong likes some, but De Jong is coming to United. Any talk with De Ligt? No, I think De Ligt would be a next season move. I think he could potentially even be going Chelsea direction if he is going to get that move as well. We are on 112 likes as I can't remember who said it, so let's go for 300 likes as well. So we got a here we go. Guys, you have to just hit that like button for here we go. You have to just hit that like button for here we go. I mean, this is the first here we've got this season. This is the first Ten Hag signing. So, you just have to. Not that he will get to that level, but Malacia reminds me of a young Evra, says Andrew. Interesting comment there as well. Did I miss a super chat? Someone said I missed a super chat. I don't think I did. I'm sorry if I did. I'm sorry if I'm not getting through loads of live chats, but I actually have quite a lot to talk about. First thing, obviously, how Man United players seem to be really impressed by Ten Hag's training and all of that. But what I did want to talk about is basically Malacia is done, confirmed, bish, bash, bosh. Here we go. Smash a like for that. De Jong is happening next. I tell you this now. De Jong, honestly, we are not far away from a De Jong. Here we go. We are really not far away from a De Jong. Here we go. I tell you that now. But also Martinez to Man United. Martinez, okay? Martinez is rumoured to go to Ajax. We all knew that it was between United and Lyon for Malacia. And then all of a sudden, Lyon were making the moves to Malacia, and it just seemed like he was going to Lyon, and that was sort of it. You know, Malacia going to Lyon. And all of a sudden, like that, Man United get Malacia. And reportedly, this is the same with Martinez. Because we're focused on Frankie de Jong, because we're focused on Malacia, Arsenal are more advanced than Man United in the race to sign Martinez. But Martinez would choose Man United over Arsenal because of his Ten Hag relationship. And also, Youri Tielemans, who Ten Hag reportedly admires, would also choose Man United over Arsenal. So Arteta pull my arse, Ten Hag pull, get in. But it was said by Simon Jones of the Mail today that sources in Holland say Manchester United are expected to make a major push for Lisandro Martinez over the weekend, and the pull of Erik Ten Hag would sway away any bidding. So basically, Arsenal have put 2 offers in for Lisandro Martinez, and Ajax are holding out. Ajax have a very good relationship with Man United and would sell to Man United over Arsenal as long as we can match Arsenal's price. And we know Martinez, his first choice is United and his second choice is Arsenal. And it's come out today that United are going to make a push for Lisandro Martinez over the weekend. Now TYRELL Malacia is done, bish, bash, bosh, here we go. We can now focus on Martinez. And I think in the next coming days, there's going to be some real big advancements in Lisandro Martinez to Man United. I mean, there's going to be some massive ones. I think, Malacia is done. It's out of the way. De Jong is reportedly going to be wrapped up in the next 48 hours. I expect the De Jong here we go next. But I also expect the time we get a De Jong here we go will be very advanced in the Martinez deal. And I think we'll be hijacking Martinez from Arsenal. James Robson said there have been positive talks over Martinez, and Man United are following a similar pattern to the Malacia pursuit. And a lot of top journalists saying we're in for Martinez. We're sort of going to do what we did for Malacia, keep an eye on him and try and take him at the last minute if he gets close to joining Arsenal. James Robson said also, by waiting before formalising their interest, Manchester United have been able to gauge what it will take to try and convince Ajax to sell, much like they did before launching a 13 million bid for Malacia. Again, saying United are waiting out to see what the price is, see what Ajax will accept from Arsenal, and then United will go and match that. As soon as Ajax accepts something from Arsenal, United will go match that, agree personal terms with Martinez, and we know we'll pick United over Arsenal. And Alex Crook, who again is a really good journalist, Alex Crook, Tier 1 source, says a fee of 41 million should be enough for Man United to steal Martinez ahead of Arsenal. And Rob Dawson said that Man United have held positive talks over Lisandro Martinez, and Ajax value Martinez around 41 to 43 million pounds, but they are willing to compromise with United over a fee. And we also know from Rob Dawson that Arsenal had 2 bids not back for Martinez, which has given Man United the opportunity to work towards their own agreement with Ajax in a deal to sign Martinez as well. Over 400 people watching. We've got a here we go today. You have to hit that like button. You're mad if you don't hit that like button because United is signing things. Alice, Chelsea trying to hijack the De Jong deal. Who's reporting that? Who's reporting that? I've not seen that, but that would scare me because Chelsea do have the money as well. Shaw needs to fight for left back. Love that, but I still think we'll get De Jong, to be fair, as well. Here we go. So overrated Ornstein exclusive, but the here we go for Malacia became before the Ornstein exclusive. So you've got, whether you like Romano or not, whether you think he's a tapping merchant or not, Romano was the first journalist to give us all of this and confirm it. And, Malacia came out of nowhere, and that was because of Romano. So, you have to give Romano the credit for that, whether you like it or not as well. Chelsea are monitoring developments around Frankie de Jong and could target the Barcelona midfielder if his move to United breaks down. So the if his move to United breaks down at the end. So I think that is highly, highly unlikely. But I think De Jong is Man United, and he's in the USA. He's actually proposed to his fiance, proposed to his girlfriend, who will now be his fiance. Lovers in the air at United. Maguire got married. Dean Henderson got married. Rashford proposed. I'm pretty sure Donny proposed. De Jong proposed. Love is in the freaking air at United, and Martial got rid of that bitch wife that hates Man United. So it's all going quite well at United. Well, is it going well? For the love lives, it is. Their love lives are going well. So hopefully now the love lives are going well and their problems off the pitch are going well. Maybe they'll do a little bit better on the pitch as well. Got lots and lots of news to get into, but smash a like for Tyrell, Malacia. I want to get into the updates on De Jong, but also Fulham want to sign Bailly and Pereira. Fulham have money for a club. Fulham do have a weird amount of money for a team that always goes up and down and spends money, but they can never do well with it. And, Fulham want to buy Bailly and Pereira off us. And Fulham could give us up to £25 million for Eric Bailly and Andreas Pereira, which I think is nice. I'm not going to complain as well. Tielemans does not want Arsenal, and United could be set to get Yuri Tielemans. I've got a question for you guys. Would you take Tielemans at United or not? Do you think he could play with De Jong in the pivot? Or do you think he just doesn't have the energy for Ten Hag ball? And do you think he's not defensively sound for Ten Hag ball? Let me know your thoughts on that as well. And obviously, Marcel van der Kraan said yesterday that Lisandro Martinez will have his hopes pinned on Manchester United, who are the top club for him. Again, confirming Martinez will be choosing us over Arsenal. But we've known that for a while as well. Other reports coming in about TYRELL Malacia. Here we go. That's the main report coming in. Obviously, it's about £15 million in total as well. And a report did come out today that Manchester United are not interested in signing Anthony anymore. And people will look at that as a negative. Why is the report coming out saying United are no longer interested in signing Anthony? What's this report coming out saying that United are no longer interested in signing Anthony? But when you think about it, all of a sudden, when the Martinez rumours to United have massively heated out, like Martinez to Man United rumours have just gone bosh, 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 bosh. Bish, bash, bosh. Like Martinez to Man United looks really, really likely to happen. Martinez to United looks really likely. And all of a sudden, the Anthony rumours have died down the second the Martinez rumours have gone boosh. So, and I said this, and I always say this, United will only sign one player from Ajax. Ajax do not want to sell any more players. We will only sign one more player from Ajax. If we get Martinez, we won't get Anthony. And all of a sudden, now it looks like we're going to get Martinez. The Anthony rumours are dying down. The minute we're hearing that we're actually preparing a bit for Martinez, we're in talks for Martinez and all of that, and that we're going to pip Arsenal to Martinez, it seems that the Anthony news has piped down. And I've always said if Man United sign Anthony, that won't happen until August. That won't happen until August because it's expensive signing. I think he's injured. We can't take him on pre-season tour anyway, so we don't need to prioritise him. We need to get players in that we can take on tour first. But also with Ajax, it's about Ajax lowering the fee because there's no way in hell United are going to pay £70 million for Anthony. Now, I like Anthony. I think he's a good player, but there's no way he's worth £70 million. Anthony is a £40 million player. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, he's only 78 rated on FIFA and judge him off a FIFA rating, but he's had one good season in the Eredivisie. You can't be £70 million off a good season in the Eredivisie. It just makes no sense at all as well. So yeah, but I think Anthony's less likely, but I think Martinez is very likely. And as Daniel said, make sure you subscribe as well. We can play Rashford and Sancho on the wings. Yes, we can. They're both better on the left. That's the only thing as well. And Anthony's just so expensive. I like Anthony. I'd happily have Anthony at Man United, but he is so expensive. Like, he's just not worth the amount of money that Ajax are trying to get for him as well. Frankie de Jong just wants to be reunited with Ten Hag. And someone said Tielemans overrated. I think Tielemans is a bit overrated. I'm not going to lie to you. If we get Tielemans for 25 million, I'm not going to complain. But Tielemans, I just don't think is a 10 Hag player. And Andrew said he doesn't like Tielemans next to de Jong. Not quick, tenacious, defensively minded, more slow, creative playmaker. I'm not the biggest fan of Tielemans to United. I know he's a good price, but I just think he's not what we need. I mean, he's an improvement on what we have, but I think if we're getting a player to play with Frankie de Jong, I wouldn't be going for Tielemans. I'd be looking at other players. I'd be looking at, you know, like a Sangare or a Lema, someone that's more the defensive part of their game is their strong point. If you get what I'm saying, does that make sense? As well, guys, please do keep hitting that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new and all of that. Malacia has signed for Manchester United. Here we go. Breaking news. I mean, this is the story of the day, so do make sure you subscribe so you stay up to date with that as well. But I've got a few more stories to get into on the channel as well. I think Murta is useless, Alice, though. Look, we'll have to wait and see how we judge Murta. If we get, let's say if United get Malacia, boom. Well, we got Malacia, we get de Jong, boom. So we've got Malacia, we're about to get de Jong. We might get Martinez, which seems likely. If we get a Dumfries and ERIKSEN and a DM, I'd say that's a good window. I think it's going to be a goalie, Malacia, de Jong, Martinez, ERIKSEN, and maybe one other player. But United are talking about this, what's it, £120 million budget? Well, Malacia and Martinez would be about 50 million of that, and de Jong would be about 70 million of that, and that would be our budget gone on 3 players, and then we'd have to sell to buy someone else, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But then I also remember who runs Manchester United, and that is the Glazers as well. Breaking news, Kimmich to Man United. I fucking wish, mate. I bloody wish, mate, as well. Ronaldo will be involved next season as well. But Malacia to Manchester United, guys. Let me get back into it. What will he offer us? You know, what will he offer us? Defensive stability, competition for Luke Shaw, the ability to sell Telles and Williams now and get them out of the club because they're not good enough. Williams, maybe you loan, but Telles, go. Just go. But also, what I like about Malacia, and I think what he's got that we need, is a player that's coming here to impress. Now, I think there's a lot of players at Man United, especially last season when we would fall into crap, that almost felt like they made it and they felt like they weren't the problem. There's a lot of egos in that dressing room, a lot of players that felt that actually, you know, Man United owe them. You know, a lot of players thinking, I'm too good to be at Man United, I'm too good to be involved in this shit show, the reason we're losing has nothing to do with me. A lot of big egos not taking responsibility for the Man United form last season. A lot of players at Man United probably thinking that we should be grateful that they're at a club, you know, and they're too good to be for a Europa League club. But what you get with Malacia is you get a player coming to Man United that's like privileged to wear the shirt. Like, you get a player that's literally like, why the hell am I here? Like, this is massive. You know, and if you look at Liverpool, I always say this, Liverpool signed players from Roma, Hoffenheim, Schalke, Hull, Southampton, RB Leipzig, RB Salzburg. The core of their squad is from those teams, and they're not top teams. Some of them aren't even in top leagues. But all these players almost all of a sudden came to Liverpool and they became top players because they had, one, the right attitude. So they would come in and they were wearing a Liverpool shirt and they felt privileged to wear a Liverpool shirt, but two, the right coaching in Klopp. And I know with Ten Hag, you've got the right coaching. And I know in a player like Malacia, that's dream is to come to Manchester United and play for a club like Manchester United. And when he comes here, he's going to feel privileged to wear that shirt and give it his all for the shirt. I know that if you've got a player with the right mentality and the right coaching, as long as they have the ability or the potential, they're going to become a top player. And I think if TYRELL can attract a lot of players that are desperate to come to Man United, desperate to play for us, will do anything to wear that shirt, on top of TYRELL's coaching, on top of the board doing their part in recruitment, on top of, making sure we run like a sustainable club, making sure we do good business, we get rid of troublemakers, we get rid of bad players easily, but we bring in the right players. The Man United can only go in the right direction. But obviously I'm going off on a bit of a tangent there, but what I'm saying with Malacia is you've got a player that literally will feel privileged to wear the shirt. And I think last season, not many Man United players were playing for the shirt. The ones that were trying their best when they're in a Man United shirt were the Elangas, because they felt privileged to be wearing a shirt. But your big players, they were like, I don't want to see seen dead in this. But, when you're a young player and you've got your whole career to prove, you've not proved yourself, and this is your chance to prove yourself at the top level, you know that he's going to give it his all. And at the end of the day, we could have 11 stars like we did last season not trying, or you can have 11 players up and coming who are trying, and 11 players up and coming will probably get you a better result, because we saw last season, if you have the ability but not the work ethic, you can't succeed. You need both, but just again, it showed how important work ethic was last season as well. I hope the board gives Erik ten Hag time. Me too, mate. Me too. I think they really do need to give Erik ten Hag time. David Ornstein has now tweeted that Man United have agreed terms with TYRELL Malacia, a 4-year contract with an option of a 5th, and a medical may happen this weekend. Manchester United now trying to reach an agreement with Ajax for Arsenal target Lisandro Martinez. He is keen. The De Jong and ERIKSEN pursuit continue as well. So David Ornstein's just come in with a massive tweet here saying that Manchester United are now trying to reach an agreement with Ajax for Arsenal target Lisandro Martinez. And that is massive news. That is absolutely massive news, guys. I'm going to get that up here on my screen, because we've just had Mr. David Ornstein come out with like this again, just confirming we are in for Lisandro Martinez. So let me go to my notifications if I can, and let me find what David Ornstein. This is the tweet. This is the tweet, guys. Man United agree terms with TYRELL Malacia, 4-year contract, option 5th. Medical may happen this weekend, but now United is trying to reach an agreement with Ajax for Lisandro Martinez. So Martinez seems to be Man United bound as well. I mean, it's all kicking off. It's all kicking off, and it's all looking great for United at the moment. But the Malacia, here we go, is brilliant. But if we can get Martinez done in the next few days, I mean, that would be brilliant as well, because that will be, we've been complaining a lot about how long we've been taking on Frankie de Jong and how long we'll be taking on deals. But imagine signing 2 players that we've only been working on for a week. It would feel a lot better as well. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly change this. But guys, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football as well. I'm just going to do one thing. Can't type, but make sure you subscribe if you're new, because I will be live every single evening on the channel, and I will be doing a video tomorrow morning, and I will be doing a live stream tomorrow night, and there could be a bonus video today, because it's all hitting off. Like, we've just got Malacia. De Jong, here we go, is minutes away, but also Martinez to Man United. Like, that is, like, look at the screen. Look at the screen in front of you. So it's massive news. I mean, a week ago we'd done nothing other than getting told we were getting close to De Jong. But in the space of a week, we've had here we go for Malacia. We've had a David Ornstein exclusive saying that we're working to get a deal for Lisandro Martinez, and that Lisandro Martinez to United's looking very likely. And we're also going to get a De Jong, here we go, any day now. So it seems to be kicking off at United. So hence why I'm seem to be going a bit crazy. I think Lisandro means no Timber now or the future. Yeah, I think if Man United do get Jurrien Timber, they won't be getting him until the future. Now, and I like Jurrien Timber. I'm a big fan of him, but you know what? I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, Timber was my first choice because he was Erik ten Hag's first choice. But what you get with Lisandro Martinez is a player that can play DM, and I think at the end of the day, we ain't been linked to any other midfielders. Other than TYRELL Malacia, we've not been linked to any other midfielders. And you know what? It's absolutely been doing my head in. Absolutely. I mean, other than TYRELL Malacia, other than Frankie de Jong, she's excited, they're doing something, so she's not making sense. But other than Frankie de Jong, we've not been linked to any other midfielders. And I've always said we can sign Frankie de Jong, that's amazing. But if you sign Frankie de Jong and you stick him next to McTominay, who can't play as a 6, who can't get involved in the game, so it's practically like playing with 10 men, then you're not going to get the best out of Frankie de Jong. But if you get Frankie de Jong and a top CDM to play next to Frankie de Jong and the pivot, then you are going to get the best out of Frankie de Jong. And I'm not saying Martinez is a top DM. I'm not saying any of that. But with Martinez, you have a player that can play DM. Because at the end of the day, there's not, now Matic is left, there's not a single player at Man United that can play DM. Fred was brilliant last season under Rangnick, but where was Fred playing last season under Rangnick? DM or as an 8? He was playing as an 8, and it was the best we'd ever seen Fred. McTominay was trying to play as a 6 and ended up playing 90 minutes, and still in 90 minutes, McTominay had less passes than Matic, his midfield partner, did in 45 minutes. Was, you know, so with Martinez, one, he's a centre-back. You have a centre-back that knows Erik ten Hag's way, and that also adds depth to centre-back with injury issues, but also he's a player that can play in midfield. And I think versatility is important, but also, you know, now we've gone from, you know, McFred to maybe even Donny, De Jong and Martinez instead of McFred. And that midfield just looks so much better with that balance. And, you know, if you add ERIKSEN as well into the mix to play in a more attacking position with Bruno, you know, imagine a midfield 3 of Martinez, De Jong and ERIKSEN, you know, compared to McFred and Bruno. The balance, you know, the way we play, it will just be so much better. And it's just so needed at Manchester United at the moment as well. So I'm really happy with the news that Martinez to United is looking very, very strong. Guys, keep smashing the like button, keep sharing the video and all of that as well. And United to I die, says Gaz, big up. And Martinez is a good player. He is a good player as well. Lisandro better than Timber. Well, Lisandro is more experienced than Timber. And I think, you know, while I prefer Timber because he was Erik ten Hag's #1 target and he could also fill in at right back, Martinez is the more experienced player, so I think Martinez would almost find it easier in the Premier League. I think Timber is a player that's only 20. I think, you know, Timber could be better to buy next season. You know, I think for me, Timber could be better to buy next season as well. Andrew said it's baffling. This club's been allergic to signing defensive midfield signing for years. Do you know what's really funny? Do you know what's really funny is I saw a tweet today saying basically in the whole Ollie reign, we didn't sign a single midfielder. The only midfielder we signed in the Ollie reign was Donny. And I don't think Ollie signed him because Ollie never played him. So we basically didn't sign a midfielder in the whole 3 years of the Ollie reign. And ten Hag comes in and we could sign 3. We've got 1 in De Jong, 2 in Martinez, who would maybe play midfield, but also 3 in TIELEMANS if we get him. And so imagine this, no midfielders in 3 years with Ollie, and then ten Hag comes in and United could bring in potentially 3 players that could play midfield as well, which is absolute madness. I mean, our midfield's been so neglected that I think, you know, Martinez, because we ain't linked to a DM, I just think I would cling on to Martinez just so we know we have a player that can play DM at the club as well. You said De Jong's going to be done in a few minutes. I didn't mean to say a few minutes. I'm just excited we're signing someone. De Jong will be done soon. I don't know when, but it will be done soon. We're only 90 likes away from 400 likes, guys, so do make sure you smash that like button. And, of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you are new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, keep smashing that like button, keep smashing that subscribe button, because Man United have basically signed a player. I mean, we've got a here we go. We practically have. And, you know, the Man United we know was doing nothing this transfer window. And not only have we basically signed 1 player, but we could generally be getting 4 players done. I'm not even lying. Generally be getting 4 signings done in the next 2 weeks. Because there's Malacia, and then we know De Jong's going to be done, and we know Martinez could be done, but also ERIKSEN, that could happen. We could be sitting here next week with 4 here we goes, and I'm not even lying. There's even links of us to go for TIELEMANS. There's even links of us to go for Dumfries. I mean, it's crazy when you actually think about what's going on at United. Like this isn't my football club. This isn't the club I support. You know, United seems to actually be looking to sign someone. You're thinking, nah, this club is on drugs. Martinez will play as a DM. Martinez could play as a DM, and I think he might if we don't sign one. I think if Martinez comes, that we might pave the way for Garner to go and get Malacia. Garner to get Premier League game time. For Martinez, there is a race, but Man United and Arsenal are the only teams in the race for Martinez. But we know, I'm not even scared about Arsenal. Even though Arsenal are the only team that's putting bids for Martinez, Martinez is holding out for United. We know from Tier 1 Dutch sources that Lisandro Martinez wants United over Arsenal and will choose United over Arsenal. We also know Man United have a better relationship with Ajax because of Ten Hag, because of Van der Sar. So if Man United want Martinez, we will get Martinez. Okay? If we want him, we will get him. Because he's 40 million, which is an affordable fee. Man United, Ten Hag wants him. We've missed out on Timber. If you've missed out on Timber, you need to get Ten Hag's next target because then it will be embarrassing. But he wants us over Arsenal. The player wants us. We have a good relationship with Ajax, and Ten Hag wants the player. So if Man United want to sign Martinez, they will sign Martinez. And reportedly, Martinez to United will hopefully be done before pre-season. The aim is to get it done before pre-season. So Martinez to United could be done very, very soon. And I'm confident that it will be done. Despite Arsenal being more advanced, we have that advantage over Arsenal. So as long as we're willing to pay the money, which is 40 million for Martinez, which we've been told we will, then I 100% confidently believe United will get Lisandro Martinez. I think the only way we don't get him is if we don't want him. And we know we want him. Ornstein said we wanted him. Romano said we wanted him. Alex Cook, top journalist, saying we have a severe advantage over Arsenal. The Telegraph, top Dutch source, saying Martinez will choose Man United over Arsenal. So I think I'm very confident that we will get Martinez, and I think you should be as well. People say I'm deluded confidence, but that's how I feel. Numerous Dutch journalists saying Lisandro Martinez prefers Ten Hag to United if we get it done. Exactly. Here we go, guys. Let's go for 500 likes on the video. So if you've not hit that like button, please do go and hit that like button. Can we hit 500 likes? So here we go. Like, you've got every reason to hit that like button because we've got a here we go done deal, bish, bash, bosh as well. Arsenal have a chance on Martinez because United, we know what United like in the transfer market. You know how we're a bit tight with money, and Arsenal obviously more advanced in the deal for Martinez because Arsenal have actually put 2 bids in while we haven't. But we do know it's very much like Lyon and Man United in for Malacia. Lyon were very close to wrapping up Malacia. It looked like Malacia was Lyon bound. United swooped in, hijacked the deal, bish, bash, bosh, we got Malacia. Lisandro Martinez wants us over Arsenal. So it's the situation of, well, Arsenal can go get that done. But if Man United swoop in, the player's going to change his mind and pick us, which puts us at a big advantage over them as well. I might even do a bonus live stream tonight because this was sort of my here we go live stream, but I might do a bonus video or live stream tonight. So do make sure you do stay subscribed for that because we've got a lot going on at United. I'm going to be live again some point in the next week for De Jong. Here we go. There's going to be Martinez updates coming in, about Martinez to United, and obviously we know that's really close. There's going to be ERIKSEN news breaking. There's going to be TIELEMANS news breaking. And also, we go on pre-season tour next week. So if you are watching right now and you're not subscribed, do subscribe because I'm going to be doing watch-alongs, match reaction videos. I'm going to be doing transfer news updates and all of that. And if you don't want to miss out, do subscribe because Malacia is confirmed. Martinez, David Ornstein's talking about us pursuing him next. And David Ornstein don't miss. David Ornstein don't lie. So if David Ornstein said we're pursuing Martinez next, then I think that Martinez, here we go, could be next. I still think De Jong will be the next here we go, but I feel weirdly confident we're going to get Martinez. I said 2 days ago, I was skeptical about Martinez. 2 days ago, I was a bit skeptical about Martinez. I thought, is this Ajax pretending we're more interested than we are to get Arsenal to hurry up and pay the money they want? But then now you've got Ornstein on it. Now you've got Romano on it. I'm like, I think we'll get Martinez. And I feel somewhat confident that we will as well. David Ornstein said that advanced negotiations are now taking place between Manchester United and Ajax for Lisandro Martinez, and the player is believed to be keen on a reunion with former coach Erik Ten Hag as well. So this is obviously a big story coming in, and I'm going to get that up for you now. So it's also said that Manchester United are seeking to reach an agreement with Ajax to sign Martinez, and it's believed they've established themselves as favourites to sign the Argentinian player. So what I am going to do is I'm going to get Central Devils up. So I want to show you this here. I'm going to show you a different screen because I think this will be better for you to see. So bear with me a sec. I'm going to show you this because I feel like you want to see the news for yourself. So this is one of my favorite Twitter pages for news. So you can have a free shout out. Read the bottom one first. Read the bottom one first. It's the bottom one, then the top one. But this is what they're saying about, this is what Ornstein is saying about Martinez to Man United. So not only have we got a Malacia, here we go, but like stuff seems to be coming out. And as Gaz says, Alice is excited. Alice is very excited as well. And Malacia medical is expected this weekend as well. You talk a lot about sending James Garner out on loan for PL time, but Garner is not going anywhere. He's better than McFred. I agree that he's better than McFred, but will Ten Hag think that? And at the end of the day, if James Garner's going to stay and not play, this is the thing. If James Garner is guaranteed to play over McTominay and Fred, then I want him to stay because I think he is better than them. But I think for me, if we're not going to play James Garner regularly, he needs a loan, because if James Garner goes back to Nottingham Forest, he plays week in, week out in the Premier League. If James Garner goes to Southampton, Brighton, he's going to play week in, week out in the Premier League. If James Garner's at Man United, I don't think he's going to play week in, week out unless it's an absolute superb pre-season as well. You know, Alice, if we want Martinez, we will get him. United will pay for his plane taxi fare. Arsenal will have a wheelie bin from the council. I love that. That's quite funny. Happy birthday to Garnacho. Is it Garnacho's 18th? Didn't even know that, but yeah. When will you, the Deb would say, here we go. I mean, Pereira could be out. Dean Henderson could be out very soon, and hopefully that will happen as well. But I think De Jong, Malacia, and Lisandro Martinez all looking very, very likely. And, you know, I think they're 3 good signings. I think they are 3 really good signings. I still think we need a Sangare, a Dumfries. I still think we need an Anthony. I still think that's 3 good signings, but I still think we need a right back, a CDM, and an attacker. I still think ideally we need 6. But if Man United got 5, we know that Man United are used to disappointing us in the transfer window. So even if we've got 5 signings, I'll be very happy with that. I still think we need, 3 more positions. But I think we've addressed, it seems to be that we've addressed 3 positions, and then hopefully we address the 3 more. Martinez isn't even starting for Argentina. He still plays for them. He's 24 years of age. He knows Erik ten Hag's ways. He's a player Erik ten Hag wants. He's a good player. He can play DM. He can play centre-back. I don't think you can be mad about Martinez to United. I would have preferred Timber, but Martinez is more experienced. We couldn't get Timber. You know, Van Gaal changed Timber's mind, so I'm more than happy with us getting Martinez. It will be a tug-of-war between you guys and Arsenal for Lisandro Martinez this summer. I agree, but I think he will pick United as well. Malacia on the left, Dumfries on the right would prove unlimited assist for Ronaldo. Potentially, Malacia I don't think is amazing going forward, but I think he's a good fullback going forward as well. And Gaz says, can we hit 500 likes, guys? Yes, guys, please do keep hitting that like button as well, because, you know, Malacia is, here we go. You've got to hit that like button. You've got to hit that like button. Harry Maldini and Fred should go. Look, they won't go, but I think next season they maybe should. But I think we need them for depth this season, as silly as that sounds. De Gea, Malacia, Martinez, Varane, Delot, Van der Beek, De Jong, Bruno. What we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to see the lineup. Because I don't know if we're going to play Martinez centre-back or all that. So, obviously, look, we're going to put, for the sake of this video, De Gea. Now, Wan-Bissaka is set to be given a second chance, but we know that Delot is favoured. We'll put Malacia in there, but I think it could be Shaw. We'll put Varane in there, and we'll put Martinez in there for now. But I could see Martinez at DM and maybe Lindelof playing. We know Ronaldo's going to play up top next season. We know Sancho will play here. We know that it will probably be Bruno, but you never know. It could be Eriksen or Donny. I'll put this underwards because you just don't know what Ten Hag's plan is, because he doesn't seem the biggest fan of Bruno. We'll put Rashford here on the right, but I will say Ahmad's question. See if he gives Ahmad a go, because Rashford's sceptical. We obviously know it will be De Jong. But who will that player next to De Jong be? I think we need to sign someone, because I look at this team, that is the weak point. I think right wing's a weak point. I think right back's a weak point, and I also think here's a weak point. So I think Rashford's a weak point. I think Delot's a weak point, and I think this position's a weak point. And this is all on the right-hand side. So it's an interesting one, because, you know, if we sign Martinez, obviously De Jong and Malacia, it's good, but I don't know who this player's going to be. I think I would go with Fred, because I think he would complement De Jong the best, and I'd probably maybe put Garner in as a question mark. But it's an interesting one. I think Dumfries would be good, unless you can get the best out of Wan-Bissaka, which is apparently what our plan is to do. I think Anthony would be good here, but I don't think we're going to get Anthony. I think if we might get Martinez, we won't get Anthony. But, you know, this is potentially what we could look like next season. And look, it's not the best squad in the world, but, you know, if you play Martinez in midfield and maybe Lindelof next to Varane, and you massively improve that midfield, then I think top 4 challenge is possible. I think Liverpool and City guaranteed top 4. Spurs and Chelsea, I think, are guaranteed top 4. But I think we could maybe push Chelsea and Spurs if we can get this midfield sorted, if we can get a good partner for Frankie de Jong as well. Tielemans potentially. I don't think Tielemans would work playing next to Frankie de Jong, though. Here we go doesn't mean shit. Hold the shit up. I mean, look, I understand why you feel that way. You know what United are like, but he will be holding the shit up very, very soon. Do not worry as well. Amad Diallo should definitely be in the squad along with Mejbri and Garnacho, says Daniel. I absolutely agree. Why no Donny? I think Donny will be involved. It's just that he's obviously not played much recently, so I don't know if he'll come in and start straight away. But I know Donny will actually be given a chance. It looks like a decent team, to be fair. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's left-footed. Yeah, you're spot on there, mate. You're spot on. I didn't even think about that. There you go. That looks a lot better. As well. How would we stop Liverpool and City? They're too strong. It's annoying because Liverpool and City are so strong, and they've got bloody Haaland and Nunes. I mean, to be fair, I always said with Darwin Nunes, I'd never pay more than 50 million for Darwin Nunes. I've never been the biggest rater of Darwin Nunes. So I don't have, but I just feel like Darwin Nunes, I feel like if Man United brought Darwin Nunes, he'd be absolute shit. I generally believe if we brought Darwin Nunes, he'd be absolute god shit. But I reckon now Darwin Nunes goes to Liverpool, he's going to be freaking amazing. You know, that's what happens to Liverpool players. Liverpool sign a player, they're bloody amazing. Man United sign a player, they're shite. So, but yeah, Liverpool and City strengthening. But like, this isn't the season to catch Liverpool and City. This is the season where we've got to be catching Chelsea, Spurs, and Arsenal. You know, and us nicking Martinez off Arsenal, brilliant. Us maybe nicking Tielemans off Arsenal, brilliant. Rafinha not going to Arsenal, brilliant. You know, but at the end of the day, Arsenal, you know, they're building something. I think, you know, Arsenal, you know, if they can sort out their depth, you know, we need to build something too. Now, it finally looks like United have a plan and they're building something, but this transfer window could just be De Jong, Malacia and Martinez, and that's not a good transfer window. You need a right winger, you need a right back, and you need a midfielder to go next to De Jong. You know, so we're three, De Jong, Malacia and Martinez seem to almost be done, but we need really an Anthony, a Dumfries, and a Sangare as well. We're not going to get that. You know, we're not Man City, we're not Newcastle, we're not PSG. We've got the Glazers, but I think that's what we need. 4-3-3. I think he'll play a 4-2-3-1 if I'm being 100% honest with you, mate. And Alice, I'm concerned about that right position. I think we can go for Anthony. We may be able to negotiate in time. I think if we get Anthony, we'll get him in August. I think Anthony would be a deadline day signing. I really do, because obviously he's not fit till August. I mean, in an ideal world, this would be the lineup. For me, in an ideal world, this would be the lineup, okay? And this is not realistic. This is never going to happen. Okay? We're never going to sign Anthony, Sangare, Dumfries, De Jong, Martinez, you know, Malacia. As much as we dream, we're not. But in an ideal world, this for me would look like a good United squad. It would. But Sangare ain't going to happen. It's just not. For me, I think we could, I'm saying at best, a realistic best lineup for next season would look something like this. All right? At best, will look like this next season. You know, if we can somehow offload players and afford Anthony and Dumfries, which I don't think we will do, at best, I think we'll look like that next season. But I don't think. I think we'll get Martinez. I think we'll get De Jong and Malacia. I think we'll get a goalie, potentially ERIKSEN on a free. But I think only one more signing after that. I think only one more signing after De Jong, Martinez and Malacia. And whether that's Anthony, I don't know. It depends on its price if it gets lower. Whether that's a Dumfries, whether that's someone we haven't been linked to yet. Maybe there is a Sangare. Maybe it is a Lema. But I think at best, if we got at best, this is what we look like next season. I'm trying to be realistic. I just don't think we will get. I think maybe Dumfries and Anthony on top of the three players we're about to get is doable, but I think at best that's what we look like. Potentially Tielemans in the mix as well there, but you don't know. We have it 400 likes, so big up everybody for hitting that like button. What do you think about Malacia and Laird as a duo for fullbacks? Well, I'm a big fan of Ethan Laird, and I always have been. I think he's a good attacking fullback. I think he's exciting. He's just had injury problems. I'd like Ethan Laird to go on pre-season. I really would, because I think with that spot being really up for grabs, and if we don't sign a right back, then I think Ethan Laird, Delone and Wan-Bissaka can all compete for that one spot, because I think that if they've got that pressure to compete, you will get the best out of them. Because I think at the end of the day, I think, you know, we've got basically we've got a left back in, brilliant. We've got a box to box in De Jong, brilliant. We've got a centre back in Martinez, brilliant. But we need a DM, a right back on a right wing on top of that. I think we're only going to address one of those three positions next and then finalise the window. So I think you can do a job with right back until next year if you rotate Ethan Laird with Wan-Bissaka and Delone. Ethan Laird, I think, is a good player. He just cannot stay fit. I think Ethan Laird is one of those players where, he was good in the Championship. And I've always said, look, the Championship is a difficult league. It's not the Premier League. We see players who are good in the Bundesliga and are crap in the Premier League all the time. It's not that. But the Championship is still a competitive league. Reece James, brilliant right back in the Championship, was fine and brilliant at Chelsea. Mason Mount was fine in the Championship with the Chelsea adjustments. It's a big adjustment, the Championship to the Prem. But if a player does well in the Championship, they should be able to do a job in the Premier League. I think there's a player in Laird, but it's just with injuries and inconsistency. And I think if there's a manager that's going to get the best out of Ethan Laird, I think it would be 10-0. Maguire to Chelsea. I mean, look, we rejected Maguire going to Barcelona. I don't think United want to sell Maguire, despite what fans think. Did Ajax have a DM? Yeah, Edson Alvarez played DM for Ajax last season. Martinez played DM in the past, but then Edson Alvarez has more recently played there. Dan Juma would be good. Turned down another English club. I can't remember who. Dan Juma was linked to West Ham for only 35 million. So maybe if you can't get Anthony, you turn your head to Dan Juma if he was reported to be 35 million, which I think is crazy. But, the thing is about West Ham could get Dan Juma for 35 million. If Man United entered the race, they put the price tag to 50 million. TIELEMANS is a good player. I think he could be a good signing, but ideally Conrad Lamar or Lisandro Martinez would be better. I think, just because of defensive ability, I agree with Daniel there as well. Ten Hag does want Dumfries. He actually does, as Nick says. Whether we'll get him or not, that's up for debate. But we do know that he's a player of interest. He wants Anthony, he wants Dumfries. I don't think he'll get everyone he wants, but we'll keep an eye on it. The modern right back, Timothy Castan, the Belgian man, he was quite impressive at Leicester. Then he got injured and went a bit quiet. I don't know what he's like. I haven't watched him enough to really say if it's a player I want or not. But I remember he was impressive, but then he just kind of got injured and dropped off a bit. Also, talking of players in the Premier League, Richarlison to Tottenham for 50 mil. I think Tottenham are massively overpaying for Richarlison. When has Richarlison been worth 50 mil? Am I going crazy? But for me, Richarlison has never been worth 50 mil. I don't know how they've got 50 mil for Richarlison, Everton, as well. People forget about Greenwood. I don't think Greenwood's coming back. If we don't get Anthony, perhaps another midfielder and right back could be looked at. That's what I'm saying. If we don't get Anthony, the money we'd pay for Anthony, we should just put in Sangare and Dumfries. If someone said to me, you get Anthony, let's say we sign Malacia, let's say we sign De Jong, and let's say we sign Martinez and we sign Eriksen, okay? Let's say we've got those 4 players in and we can only make one more signing. And that one more signing is either Anthony or it's Dumfries and Sangare. Then I would pick Dumfries and Sangare over Anthony. I generally would as well. Someone said Dumfries can't pass. I don't know. Apparently, Ten Hag wants him. 83 likes away from 500 likes. Guys, keep pushing for 500 likes. Can we get 500 likes by the end of the stream? Is Richarlison... is it... Someone said 30 mil for Richarlison. I heard it was 50 mil. I heard it was 50 mil as well. Very happy with the signing, but my problem is, will this player play like Ten Hag wants? Well, he's a player that Ten Hag wants, so hopefully he's got the abilities to do what Ten Hag wants. I don't think Ten Hag would sign a player if he didn't believe in him, and Ten Hag believes in this guy, and I think this is brilliant stuff for Manchester United. I think it's really interesting news. I also think what else is brilliant is obviously things are looking good for United in the sense of, Martinez looks very likely. Malacia is done. De Jong looks set to be done very, very soon. Ornstein saying we're seeking to reach an agreement. David Ornstein said advanced negotiations are taking place between Man United and Ajax, and the players keen to be, wants to rejoin Ten Hag as well. So it's all looking good. What I might do is, because this video is Malacia orientated, but I might make a Martinez video later, just telling everybody what we need to know about Martinez, because Malacia is done. De Jong is going to be wrapped up very, very soon, but Martinez is very, very advanced. So I might do a video, actually talk about Martinez to Man United later, a short 5-6 minute video, so you guys can feel, up to date on all the Martinez news. I just got a notification coming. Is it anything to do with United? No, it's not. But always just checking the notifications as well. Obviously, Malacia is going to be the best left back in the league now. Blah, 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 blah. I'm only joking. I'm only playing around. But if I had 100 likes, they'd be on this channel. Big up, big up, big up. Alice, do you think we'll get another Here We Go later? Not today, but I think in the next few days, yes. I think we'll get at least one more Here We Go in the next week, maybe even 2. I don't think we'll get another one today. I'll be shocked if we get another one today, because that is crazy if United can do that. But I think we could have a big update on Martinez in the next 48 hours. And I think we could have a big update on De Jong in the next 48 hours as well. Brandon Williams could be our answer to right back. I mean, look, if we don't sign a right back, sure, try Williams there. But I like Williams. I don't think he's an awful player. I think he's a Premier League standard player and he's young, and maybe one day he could be good enough for United. But he just, you look at Reece James and, I just can't see Brandon Williams doing what Reece James did as well. Notification, what is it? Lisandro Martinez next. So this is Laurie Whitwell coming out, as just said. Now, Laurie Whitwell works for The Athletic, very good journalist. He said Lisandro Martinez next on Manchester United's list after securing TYRELL Malacia. Since the defender favours United over Arsenal, work to do with Ajax on fee. Ten Hag's influence on signings is clear. De Jong and Christian Eriksen also. So De Jong, Christian Eriksen, TYRELL Malacia and Martinez all want to join Man United because of Ten Hag. Ten Hag's got the pull as well. Bournemouth signed Ryan Fredericks. Hey, Bournemouth is signing players. And I've read that De Jong will be done over the weekend, maybe Monday as they're finalising the details. That's what I've read as well, Nick. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap up today's live stream, but there will be a video later because there's been some major updates on Martinez to United. So there will 100% be a video later. So make sure you stay subscribed for that. Make sure you hit the like button, share and all of that. But thank you everybody for tuning in. Maybe there'll be a live at 10. If we get another Here We Go, there'll be another live. But if not, there's probably going to be a video out tonight around 10 o'clock. So if you subscribe with the post notification bell on, you will stay notified on all the latest news. We actually went live earlier today because we've obviously got a Here We Go. So if you do want to keep up to date with all the latest news and join the chat and watch the videos as soon as they come out, make sure you got that bell on so you are notified whenever I upload. But yes, Here We Go. Martinez next, potentially. De Jong next, potentially. And once we get the Here We Go, once we get a major update on these players to Man United, I will then be live again or with other videos. So, yeah, crazy stuff going on at the club. Big up, everyone. See you next time. Bye.